What's up, Drop Pod listeners? You can check out new episodes of the Drop Podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find all of our content on YouTube at the Drop Golf Podcast and on our socials. That's Instagram and Twitter at the Drop_pod. No matter how you consume us, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Follow and listen along.
This episode is presented by All County Exteriors. Discover the excellence of All County Exteriors, a third-generation leader in premier exterior home remodeling, proudly celebrating over 40 years of success. While most remodeling companies last just 5 years, All County Exteriors has withstood the test of time, consistently delivering top-quality roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Their expertise extends from small repairs to large additions, serving homeowners and builders alike. More than just a construction company, All County Exteriors is deeply committed to community service, proudly supporting organizations such as the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the American Cancer Society, Roofs for Troops, and Parents for Autistic Children. If you have planned to do any exterior remodeling, call the experts at All County Exteriors for a free, no-obligation estimate for your project. Just call 732-370-2780 or email them at info@allcountyonline.com. That's 732-370-2780 for All County Exteriors for all your remodeling needs. This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? How you doing this week? We have a special treat for you. Clearly, we are here on location at the Dome, but before we get there, we want to run through kind of our weekly schedule. Yesterday, Monday, was July 1st.
It was.
We had Magic Mike Monday. Mike and I got up to Forest Hill Field Club and got to play some holes there. We're going to have a little preview of the state amateur, which is going to be there next week.
Yep, starts
Monday, right?
Yeah,
so
week from today.
So we both have Mike and Ryan's verses from this week. Mike got to play yesterday. You saw he played the par 3, 8th hole at Forest Hill Field Club. Today's Tuesday, July 2nd. We got our episode coming out. You definitely should check this one out on YouTube, as we'll get into in just a second. But we're at a cool location here, and going to talk about that in just a minute. Wednesday, tomorrow, my hole at Forest Hill Field Club. I played the 13th hole. And then Thursday, we have, while we were at Forest Hill, we interviewed Kevin Purcell, who's the head of the NJSGA, but he's also 13-time club champion at Forest Hill. And just, we had a great day. Mike's, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about it, but Mike had a big day, 44 holes that day. And yeah, so we're going to get into it, but that's our schedule for this week. And then, Friday is Fun Friday, so we'll see what we come up with. And that's kind of a recap, preview of what we got going on this week. So without further ado, now let's talk about where we are, Mike. We are here at the Dome down in Jackson, New Jersey, on location. We're here. You can see behind us, it's a big dome. It's what it is. They have all kinds of stuff here. There is axe throwing, ninja star throwing. There's arcade games. There's a flight simulator and roller coaster, which would not be my thing. But if that's your thing, you can certainly check all that kind of stuff out. They have indoor bays for, you can hit into the screen. You can golf into the screen, but they also have like I saw kids playing dodgeballs against mummies there. So you got all kinds of cool games and stuff you can do there. There is a bar, pretty big. Food's delicious. They got quite a libations list as it says on there. So you got some really good things going on here. And then that's when you first walk in. Then you walk into this big dome or bubble if you're from around the Shore Conference. A couple high schools have had bubbles in past years, and that's where we are here. We're in the bubble, 2-floor driving range into with TrackMan technology, and it's you can get to watch your ball fly, and then you go to the screen and see how it went, and using all the analytics, which I know you love, and just a really cool experience here. Mike and I got finished playing. He played a front 9 at Pinehurst. I was trying to hit a car that was in the middle of the fairway. So it's really pretty interesting. They got a ton of stuff here. A really awesome spot. If you are looking for something like, I want to say like this is a winter spot, rainy day kind of spot, but it's so much more. You can come here, escape the heat during the summer. You can get here and have such a cool experience. And again, there's not a shortage of things to do. And as we were talking to some of the team here, Mike, they were saying what like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the steps coming up here. This is just step one in a sequence of things. Like they're going to have a bowling alley and they want to have a cigar lounge, and they got all these other plans in place. So this is going to be an enormous spot. Really in the whole state of New Jersey, it's really coming to.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop. I don't know how else to describe it. I feel like you want something, they have it here. And, I think when you think about like the process of this, to get this all built, and then even for people like us to get here to see it, it's funny that my email chain that I started this was way back at the end of March.
Okay.
And to think that it's July 1st that we're finally here. And I think that's what people don't understand is sometimes like, oh, why don't you go here, go there, or do this? It's not always as easy as snap of your finger like that. So, this whole team here has welcomed us with open arms. It's been an unbelievable experience thus far. And to your point, this is like in a facility that has legitimately everything. That Toptracer technology that they have is second to none. It's similar to what TrackMan is. It's similar to what Topgolf has, but you can clearly see that this place has every nut and bolt that you can possibly imagine. So, yeah, I can't thank the whole team enough for having us be here and experience this.
It really is a cool spot, and someone like you can definitely nerd out over the analytics. And again, here they have there's like an old car in the middle that's the first thing I was trying to do. Like I was trying to knock down 5 irons, and which was stupid because we're on a second level, so it's not going to happen anyway. And then I went all the way to the sand wedge trying to hit it, but like instantly you were dialed into the analytics that like someone who doesn't know golf, isn't really interested in golf, they can come here and just start smacking away, quite frankly, like I did. Mm-hmm. Or someone who's a stud who wants to dial in their numbers a little bit more, wants to work on something, they can come here and they can go deep like Einstein Oppenheimer into the numbers. And
that's what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I played the front 9 at Pinehurst number 2 in legitimately 5 minutes.
I mean, you said, hey, I'm playing Pinehurst 1. I watched you tee off. Yeah. I changed my club, and you said I'm through 3 holes.
Yeah, listen, it's one of those things. I can't lie. It has everything to your point here, where you're looking for, the beginner golfer who's just looking to have some fun, hit some golf balls, be inside and not be either so hot or so cold.
Right.
You can come here and do that. But then also, if you're a more competitive guy like I am, dialing in with these numbers truly helps, and seeing how far the ball flies in the air, playing a real golf course, like chipping the ball, like those are the types of things that like the next level is looking for, and this place has it. And I can't say enough positive things about this spot.
And Mike, to your point, like I think we said it while we were playing, I like watching the ball fly. Like the indoor simulators are really nice, and hitting into the screen is really cool, but it's different when you can get all the technology that a lot of those indoor simulators bring. There's hundreds of them, dozens of them, however many there are, but they seem like they're popping up all over. But it is different getting to watch your ball fly.
Yeah.
And even though it's 9,500 yards to the end of it, so usually you're hitting past, it's still really cool to see that, see the ball fly. You can be like, okay, I hit that well. You can actually see it off the top, because by that time, even a drive has started to waggle if it's going to draw or fade. So you can start to see it. Then you can use the technology. So again, it's really a really impressive spot.
It's a spot that, listen, I know when I say things like it takes a while for me to buy into something, but this is a spot that you need to come visit, you need to come experience, and I can't lie, you will not leave here with nothing but a big smile on your face, and I need to find a way to come back here. So.
So if you hear things bouncing around in the background, people are using the driving range.
Yeah, no doubt.
We got, there's some stuff out there. Again, a big smack means someone hit the car. So we that's not going to interrupt us, not going to phase us, but that's what's going on if you do hear stuff in the background. Mike, I know that we had we've talked about this quite a lot, and like hitting milestones. we're coming up on 5,000 Instagram followers. And that is a mark that, like, when I tell people, like, oh, like, I got a podcast, and it's, oh, how's it going? It's going pretty well, right? We have 5,000 followers on Instagram. People are, wow, that's an impressive number. And again, it's already exceeded our thoughts. Someone hit the car. It's already exceeded our thoughts here, but coming up on 5,000 is one of those round numbers that's like, wow, that's really impressive. So I think we're 15 short at our last check-in here. So
yeah, I do want to. I mean, I think the thing that's crazy to me is when you think about it, it's like we're not social media marketing people.
No.
We're two teachers by trade and by profession, and being able to grow this thing naturally, authentically is something that I think you and I take a lot of pride in. And I think truly the growth in the past 2 months to 4 months has been unbelievable, because I think the way we went from 3,000 followers to 4,000 followers in a span of time that was like unbelievable, to now think that like we could get to the 5,000 mark in less than 2 months from 4 to 5 is truly remarkable, which I know I say jokingly, but it's to the moon this thing goes. And if this thing continues to blossom and flourish the way, you and I know it can, it'll be 6,000, it'll be 10,000. And at this point, these milestones will just be another, hitch in the belt.
exactly, yeah. No, hitch in the belt, notch in the belt,
Notch in the belt.
But it's true, it really is. So and obviously this should go without saying, but that's not done without you guys who are following us, asking about us, listening to us. That number is nothing without you guys. So thank you to all of our listeners and followers, and that's quite a big milestone coming up here.
100%.
Mike, it looks like you got a couple things on here that you want to chat about.
Yeah, just a couple of my tidbits.
Mike's tidbits.
Yeah, we might need to make its own little segment here. Number one, let me give you an update on the polos. I know that I'm wearing one right now. Again, I think, and I say this honestly, there has not been a negative complaint from a single person about sizing, about colors. Every single person has either sent me a text with them wearing it, talking about it, said we nailed it, we hit it out of the ballpark. So I know when Chris and I were working a lot behind the scenes, I said to you, I think we got the sizing fixed. I don't know if there are complaints, but frankly, I have not heard one. And so I say this as in a kind way. Like, I know a lot of people want them. All the XLs are gone, so you're not being able to find an XL,
Okay.
and there's legitimately less than 20 left in stock.
Wow.
So when you
stuff.
think about 3 weeks that this thing has launched, so now there's 20 left. I don't know how much longer you want to wait to get one. I really don't. So,
Well, if you're an XL, you're SOL.
yeah. If you want an XL,
Surely out of luck.
you either start losing some weight or start gaining some weight, because I do know there's some large and double XLs. But I will say this, I don't say this just as a way to help us, but the polos are legit. You won't be disappointed wearing them. And then a couple other things I have here, just some random things that came across my schedule here, my little plate is. I thought this was interesting that Great Gorge, 27-hole facility up in North Jersey.
We had it on the March Madness.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. 4th of July sale.
Okay.
All over Golf Digest. On 4th of July, so this Thursday, from 2 to 6, you can play for $17.76.
Wow. 1776. Look at that.
So I thought that
like
was
that.
fitting
I
that
like that a
on
lot.
that date, they are charging you less than $20. And I think everybody talks about, like, oh, golf's very expensive, it's so hard to play. Well, here's an opportunity to go play for less than
Okay.
$20. I mean, I just thought, I came across that. I thought that was a really neat nugget, and something I had
Maybe
to
I'll
share.
take a trip. That was July 5th, right? We're going to send everyone July 5th, right? They're closed July 4th, so make sure you go to...
So July 4th, $17.76 to go play Great Gorge, 27-hole facility. You got to go check that out.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Golf's a good alternative, Mike, on 4th of July, right? You think like 4th of July, everyone's going to the beach. Beach is going to be packed. Maybe you don't want to be at the beach when it's that crowded. Barbecues are going on. Maybe you don't have a barbecue, or you got something planned for Saturday or the 5th or whatever the case is. Great alternative to go up and play some golf for under $20.
Yeah, especially if you're doing the beach in the morning, you can go to the golf in the
In
afternoon.
the afternoon, 100%. Love that.
I thought that was a neat little nugget that we had to share.
Yeah,
So.
very cool.
Are you looking for the perfect place to tee it up this season? Or just looking for a great spot for casual comfort food? Or how about the most picturesque backdrop for the wedding of your dreams? Then you need to go visit Galloping Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth, New Jersey, conveniently located in Union County, right off exit 138 on the Garden State Parkway. Galloping Hill encompasses over more than 270 beautiful acres. It was again ranked in the top 10 of best public golf courses in New Jersey. Galloping Hill also offers a top 50 in the country learning center with 52 stalls and a 45,000 square foot practice area. In addition to a 9-hole course that is ranked in the top 10 of short courses in the entire country, Galloping Hill is more than just golf. The Hill Tavern Bar and Grill is a gastro pub with seasonal food and beer options updated regularly with amazing views of the course. Hosting over 100 golf outings and over 400 social events per year, their catering team consistently wins awards each year from the Knot and the Wedding Wire. Schedule a tour for your special event at the clubhouse at gallopinghill.com. It's all happening this year at Galloping Hill Golf Course.
All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts, Mike.
Yeah,
This is a big episode for
big week.
Again, something that we've been kind of doing is previewing the courses. You know, we went down to Union League, previewed the Mid-Am. Now we're
Hollywood for the
Hollywood for the 4-ball. Right now we're at Forest Hill Field Club for the State Open, the State Am. Sorry, and got to go up. We played with Kevin. Had an awesome time. Got to experience it from not just I think it was really cool. I know when we were talking, it was like, well, maybe we want to talk to someone else other than I think we made the right decision because we got not only the head of the NJSGA that's running the tournament, but we also got a guy who's a stud golfer, knows the golf course. We also got a member of the golf course. So he was like listening to him talk about it. He was super passionate about the course, its history. It's his baby. He's been there since he was a child, and again, a 13-time club champ is obviously he knows what it takes to win at that place. So I think it was the perfect person to have.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see and hear a whole interview of us previewing basically holes 1 through 18 with Kevin on Thursday while we sit up there in the dining room. So, you know, if you want to hear every single thing about holes 1 through 9, you're going to hear it there. You know, I think what I'm really interested about for next Monday when these guys tee it up is, you know, it's a par 71. It's going to play. It's stretched out at 6,600 yards. I legit talked to Brad Barton today about how the course setup will be, and they actually had conversations about changing 14 from a par 5 to a par 4 and lengthening it.
Okay.
But they decided, I believe, against that. So they're going to play the true number of 66 at 71, par 71. So, I mean, when you look at this field,
that would be interesting if they had done that because that's going to play under par.
100%.
That hole.
Yeah,
that's
like
a birdie analytics hole. Of it. That's a birdie hole because
and you'll hear in that conversation on Thursday. That's a lot of what we talk about.
Yeah.
Like, what holes can these guys come out here and get?
Yeah, and that's definitely a hole that they can get, and that'd be a monster par 4. But still, I don't think it'd be the hardest hole in the course if it was a par 4.
No, me
right?
neither. Nope.
So interesting that they decided against that instead of a par 70. But still, you know, not terribly long, but definitely it's something we're going to talk about is picking and choosing where to be aggressive, when to be aggressive, how to be aggressive, when not to be, when you need to, let the course win a little bit, so to speak. Like, hey, I'm just going to take my par and run.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the one interesting thing really about that spot is the winner gets an automatic exemption into United States Amateur, which now, not all of them do, but most state associations, their amateur championship gets in. And you'll hear also, I'm not really sure if that's shared on Thursday or not, but sometimes even the runner-up is granted an automatic spot. So the field this year for this tournament is absolutely loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Loaded.
I love that whoever made that change, the USGA,
definitely.
I just think that's common sense, right? If there's enough wagger points in a field, a state open should be its own qualifier for that. That's a no-brainer. I'm glad they did that. It makes each state's tournament legitimate.
Yeah.
Because hey, here's a shot. Like you have a shot to not only win a tournament, but qualify. Auto qualify in.
Yeah.
And I think we did talk about it in there. Second place has potential. If there are enough Wagger points, they will take a second place. Or I think it was second place is to final stage of qualifying.
I
think
don't
is what
recall
it was.
the details.
But
to your point,
but I think that's an awesome new part to it, and it's definitely, again, it's bringing guys that maybe normally wouldn't play in because they're playing in other bigger things. The Ike was this week, so maybe they want to take a week off. This is now making it a staple in their schedule for the season, because that's what everyone's ultimate goal is to play in the USAM. So
do you got a pick? Have you seen the pairings?
I haven't seen the pairings.
Okay, so I took a peek this morning, and I think I saw the one pairing is Marcus Danza.
Okay.
Austin Devereaux,
wow,
and Troy Vanici. I think that is one threesome of a group.
Oh my gosh,
loaded right there. I mean, I think those names.
Do they all have? We got to make sure they got drop pod polos.
No
all
shot.
wearing them.
No shot.
One in periwinkle, one in white.
They're all wearing their respective clubs. Who are we kidding? But yeah, I did see that's one.
Wow, that's a loaded one.
On Monday.
Okay. We're gonna call it the drop pairing because those are all our guys.
Yeah, listen,
that's
there's
great.
A lot of guys of ours in this thing.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you don't have Austin potentially be up there because he's been playing so well. I don't know how you don't look at, again, Jack Wall's gotten hot lately, and I do feel like golf streaks matter. If you're playing hot, you just keep riding it, right? Scotty Scheffler has showed us that this year. But my pick is going to be someone who is probably the betting favorite, I would imagine. Someone who's been to the amateur before. I'm going to go Marcus Danza takes the field this week. I know he hasn't played in a ton of like he didn't play in the mid-am. He's just that caliber of golfer that I think just brings another level to the field.
Yeah,
So.
listen, it's hard. I guess it'd be like saying how you betting against Scotty Scheffler.
Right.
Like
Right. He is the betting favorite, right?
Yeah,
I just picked the betting
Yeah,
favorite.
you picked the guy.
So I mean, I can go another way if you'd like me to, but I just think that he's just too good. He's too good when he's playing his best golf. That I don't know if there's anybody that we've seen that's going to take him down.
Yeah, I mean,
especially over.
Yeah,
4
I mean,
rounds,
listen,
3 rounds,
yeah,
whatever
4
it is.
rounds, yeah, it's 72 holes, so
Yeah.
it is a long, grueling day. I should say week for this tournament. I guess knowing that I think Jack is just playing so well, and I think the hard thing for me to not pick Jack Wall is I know that he won it last year, but I also know that it was in his backyard.
Yeah.
Like it was at home, legitimately where he lives,
Right.
where he plays. So like you kind of knew that he was going to win, if not be near the leaderboard.
Mm-hmm.
I just think
Right, because he can go there with his eyes closed at Manasquan.
265.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no doubt. So obviously the tournament adds a little more of a stressor to him and being at home, so it's like you got to win.
Mm-hmm.
I just think you look at the projection to your point as to what guys are doing lately. I think knowing how the Ike ended for Jack, it leaves that sour taste in somebody's mouth. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it kind of is like, all right, I'm out here now to win this thing,
Yeah.
to show that I can play with the best of them in the state of New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
that I am one of the best, if not the best
Yep.
amateur in the state. And I think Jack finds a way for 4 rounds to get it done this week. And I know that's people are going to say it's a homer call, it's Manasquan River, it's one of those things. I just look again like Jack has been playing well. He played really well at the Northeast Am. Okay.
Yep.
Followed suit there at the Ike, which listen, you probably could look back then and said he should have won the Ike more or less. But the guy won.
I mean, the guy who won played.
Yeah,
What did he shoot 65 on
Yeah,
the final round?
yeah.
Jack gave some away in the
did.
final round, but not. I mean, I feel like if you're looking like who won, who lost it, that kid went and won the tournament. Jack
did.
didn't lose that
Got to
tournament.
give credit where credit's due. The kid made 4 birdies on the back 9 in a row.
Right.
So Jack did fumble a little bit, make some bogeys, but whatever the case is, I just think Jack gets back on the wagon. I think his confidence is there, and I think that sour taste is going to give him the drive, because I think a golf course like Forest Hill is scoreable.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I think it's a scoreable golf course, and I think a guy that's hitting the ball well from tee to the green, and not so much to the green, it's more like can you convert and hitting fairways. I just think that opens up so many opportunities to make putts and make
Yeah.
birdies. And I just think Jack is on one of those streaks right now, to your earlier point, that I think he finds a way to get it done. So I'm taking Jack Wall.
I would for back to back.
Back to back.
I would love that. I mean, again, there's nobody. We got a lot of people we like in that are our guys now, and so I feel bad having to pick somebody over somebody else. But yeah, I would love it if any of our guys did. So,
Or if none of our guys win it, we get a new guy.
we get a new guy, right?
New guy hops on, and all of a sudden, 2 days later, he's our guy. So, just like a lot of things, like listen, you've seen how we've kind of done this, where we've previewed the championship for
Yep.
the NJSGA. We've partnered with them with doing it, and then a few weeks later, who ends up coming on? The winner of the
winner.
event. So one way or another, this guy who
coming
wins
on.
is
Yeah.
going to be one of our guys.
Right.
So one way or another.
So if you're winning, even if you didn't listen, someone's probably going to talk about it out there, right? We talked about you, and expect a DM from Mike 4.5 seconds after the final punt goes down.
There you go.
You just mentioned it. You think it's pretty scoreable, and I know that we talk about this on Thursday's episode, but like, there's a couple holes early on that are scoreable, and then you go through a stretch where it's less scoreable, and then you go through another stretch where it's a little more scoreable. So, what do you think the winning total number is going to be for 4 days?
In relation to par.
In relation to par.
See, like,
yeah.
I think when I thought about it with Kevin the day of, I think I said it was like -6 or -7 was going to be my number.
Right.
But the more I think about it and the more I see how well some of these guys are playing into it, I know this seems outrageous because it's an amateur championship, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it's double digits.
Right.
I truly wouldn't.
So we did, in the interview, we did talk that we were like, 68's out there. 68's a very possible score. 68 for 4 rounds is 12 under.
I know.
So it's not, you're right, it's not unreasonable. The consistency is tough, but again, shooting a 68 is well within a lot of people's. It's not like it's a U.S. Open where there's gonna be a couple people under par and most everybody.
Nope.
No, honestly, I think there's gonna be a ton of people at 68 or less even for a round. It's just, can you do it for multiple rounds?
Yeah.
Like, there's probably a 64 out there, and then does that 64 come in with a 68, a 69, 69? Like, do they come in with it, or do they go 64 one day,
74 next
75 the next day?
Yeah,
right.
no,
So that's what's going to kind of determine the tournament.
It's there
is
for the
consistency.
taking.
But
It's
yeah.
there for the taking, and it's definitely going to be one of those things that, I know how we are. It's going to be refresh, get the the extra charger out there, get the phone plugged in, and keep refreshing. But yeah, I can't wait to see this thing get going. I know Kevin mentioned, again, you'll hear it in the interview on Thursday, firm and fast is going to kind of be the theme of the week. So, tune in on Thursday. You'll hear that whole preview from holes 1 through 18. A guy who's won it 13-time club champion there will give you the ins and outs. So for all the participants that are playing, that are listening right now, you got to make sure you tune into Thursday.
Yeah. I guess I'll throw my number out. You liked 7 originally. Is that what you said? Have you moved it to double digits officially?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. I guess I'm going to stick with 7 because that was my gut when I was
Okay.
there. But I won't be surprised if it starts to sneak up into
Yeah.
low double digits. I won't.
I think I've gone in the same way, like thinking about being there and whatever. I think I like 9. I think my number is 9. Not quite double digits, but again, wouldn't surprise me if someone does go 10, 11, 12.
Would it surprise you if the winning score is like less than 5 under? If
Yeah,
someone
I'd
came
be
as a-
shocked.
Yeah.
I'd be really shocked if the total winning score,
Was
like if they were
3
battling
under.
that.
Let's say 3 under. Would you be like, wow?
Yeah, I really would be, because knowing how I shot that day and knowing how much better these guys are, I think that that's just not happening. It's not even something that's in the realm for me, because I think that honestly, like 20th place might be 3 under. 4
Wow.
under. Yeah, like I think we're gonna have
So
a lot of guys.
You're
be under
expecting
par.
a shootout.
I kind of am. Yeah, I
You're
kinda am.
going to say that these guys are going to flex their muscles and they're going to beat the golf course.
Now hold on. I think that there's going to be like some guys that flex the muscle, beat the golf course, and you have like a 9 and an 8 and a 7, and you might have like between those three numbers, you might have 4 or 5 guys, right? Maybe throw 6 in there. You got like 6 between those 4 numbers, and then you're going to have like a clumping that as you get closer to par, you're going to get a bigger grouping of people. And I think if there's 6 between 4, and I still have 5 more 5 under, 4 under, 3 under, 2. I think easily there's going to be 15 guys for those. I think it's going to be a. I think they're going to be good enough and know the course well enough. Yeah.
Awesome. Here we go. Stay tuned on Monday.
Big news on the PGA. I didn't know how to put this, Mike, because I put it on here. The amateur, the tournament front is, I think, what I put it under. Because let's talk about Jack's week at the Ike. He had a great week. And then we got Korn Ferry PGA Senior. So I just put tournament. I don't know how, because I can't put professional, because amateurs aren't professionals. Jack had an incredible week at the Ike. He really did. We talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it on camera, but he did not have a great college spring season. But he is playing good golf right now. T19, which we talked about at the Northeastern Invitational, which beat Stu. And David Ford, who we had on. We talked about that. And then this week was winning the Ike up until the last day. And as we just mentioned, gave a few shots away. I didn't think he played awful. I didn't remember what his final round score was, but it wasn't like he shot 75. I think he was right around par. And then the guy that won it shot 65 and kind of took it away from him. But the Ike's an incredible tournament. I know you're more in that realm. So what does the Ike mean to those kind of those big time amateur guys? I know it's a big time event. It's a Met event. It's not necessarily a New Jersey event, but what does that mean to them? What's the history?
You say this as if I think that's where we're going to start to learn levels here. It's like we have the recreational guy, right, that breaks 90. Okay. Then you got the guy that breaks 80. Okay. Then you got like what you think is like I can play a little bit. Like this is not my realm.
Hold on, but it's closer than my realm is.
Okay, that's fair.
My realm can't see that realm. Okay.
Well,
yours at least has the binoculars.
Yeah, I would say from a distance.
Okay.
More or less. Listen, this is an MGA major. Okay, this is one of the cream of the crop tournaments. If you think back to when we had Milan Dodabel on, he was the winner of last year's tournament. So it is a very highly regarded, widely recognized as a tournament that if I'm in the Met area, I want to win. Okay. I even put on here some of the guys that won, like Cameron Young.
Yeah.
Yes, the guy on the PGA Tour who just shot 59 the other day, a couple weeks ago. Yes, he's won this twice. Luke Sample out of Duke, who's just had a great showing over there in one of the tournaments in Europe in terms of the amateur over there.
And so going back to like the USGA turning the state AMs into qualifiers, the Ike would have been one that would have taken away from that. Like guys would have rather play in the Ike than their state open.
Yeah, I think they do their best to not intermingle. I think they do their best to make sure that the schedule is separated so that we're not stealing one guy from this tournament to get him into theirs. So I think they do their best to schedule it out so where, listen, it could be in theory back-to-back weeks, sure, but I think the way they do it is like, okay, if the Ike was going on the week before July 4th, then you have 4th of July weekend, and then you have the state am. I think they do their best to make sure the scheduling works out. Okay. But again, I'm sure there could be times where it doesn't. Yeah. Marcus Stans is another past winner of that tournament at the Ike. So it is and
that's someone I'm thinking about. That like if he has to pick between the Ike, someone of his ilk, if he's got to pick between the Ike and the state am that doesn't have an auto qualifier, he's going to pick the Ike every time.
Yeah,
correct?
I would say probably so because it's more the recognition aspect of it. It's probably a better field when you're thinking about it because our state am is
wagger points and all that stuff.
Yeah, you got just the guys here in our state, and that's not a knock against them. But when you can include Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey, the pool gets larger. So, listen, Jack played extremely well. I was getting some texts from people while he was there that he's hitting it real well, and I think the one thing that I'm optimistic as to why I think Jack wins and goes back-to-back in the state am is his confidence is back. And I think that was something that, may have drifted away a little bit while down at school. And now that he's got that back, like us, he rocks a lot of Fluke apparel gear. Yeah. So, listen, another one of our guys in a different regard. So it is a major tournament on the MGA schedule. It's, it was unfortunate not to get his name etched in that. But that's why I think, listen, he's going to bounce back next week and get it done. Yeah. The Dome at Adventure Crossing in Jackson, New Jersey is a golfer's dream come true and possibly the greatest indoor driving range of all time. Whether you're a scratch golfer, high handicapper, or even just starting out, you have to come hit balls under this enormous indoor dome. There are 44 bays on 2 levels, and Toptracer technology helps you improve your swing with the most accurate ball tracking in the industry. They even offer lessons. Come alone or bring the crew to drive balls or play simulated championship courses. You can even bring the family because the dome is not just golf. There are sports simulators, enhanced axe, knife, ninja stars, dart throwing, arcades, boardwalk games, air hockey, and even a VR roller coaster and flight simulator. And I can't forget about the food. Delicious food and drink are brought right to you while you play. You can even book a party here with dedicated party areas and packages for celebrations of all sizes. The Dome in Jackson, New Jersey has it all. Golf, games, food, and fun. It's a great place to play, practice, and party. If you haven't been here, get here. Visit thedomenj.com and book a visit today.
The Rocket Mortgage was this week. It's currently finishing up.
Yeah, all 3 guys made the cut.
Yeah.
All 3 guys made the cut, and last I saw that, Max and Ryan were right at the T30 mark.
Yeah.
So I did see Chris had a tough finish in terms of his final round today where he did not play very well. So they all cashed a check. I think, it might be more of a catalyst for Ryan to get his season going because, he's kind of been a little struggling at times, not making many cuts. So I think, finishing as well as he did, it hopefully kind of jump starts things for him because this is a little stretch where a lot of the guys, aren't playing. They're gearing up for the British Open. They may be going over there earlier.
Yeah.
So it gives them an opportunity to get some more points. And, Max is right there teetering right behind Chris in that 85 to 95 range in the FedEx Cup points list. So if we can get them inside top 70,
it'd be great.
We're talking playoff time, baby.
I did see Chris's brother Pat this weekend.
Oh, nice.
He's not on the bag anymore. Chris went. It's something we need to look into, but this is fairly new news. Chris went, I guess, full-time caddy. I don't know what his situation was, but he had his younger brother Pat on the bag. Both grew up caddying, through high school and whatever, and I guess got to a point where gonna get like a professional caddy and not like have my brother on the bag. So maybe something to we're gonna look into a little bit, but I was out, and I did see Pat out and talked to him for a second, said hello, wished him well.
I wonder if it was the same guy that was on the bag at the Myrtle Beach when he won, because it was not Pat on the bag then.
It wasn't, no.
So I wonder if that guy's been employed full time.
Yeah, I would think for a little bit. Yeah, maybe. So, well, stay tuned. And then one of our guys, again, we got a lot of guys, Mike.
Guys. I thought you had a lot of guys. All of a sudden, I get bulked into this, and we got a lot of guys.
We do got a lot of guys.
At this point, I feel like I don't even know who's not our guy.
Right.
I think if we say hello to somebody, all of a sudden he's our guy. Like, you're our guy, you're welcomed in.
To be fair, we've talked extensively about the golf community being very open and welcoming, and they really have. So one of our guys, Brian Gaffney from Essex Fells, not only qualified for the U.S. Senior Open, but made the cut at the U.S. Senior Open. He still made it despite bogeying the 18th hole on his second round. So to move him to 1 over for the tournament, the cut was 2 over. So he's cashing a check this week as well. So he didn't have a great weekend. I know he's going to be disappointed in that, but still really cool to see him out there and see pictures of him at one of the founding clubs of USGA golf.
Yeah,
I believe it's if it's not the oldest. I saw 1894 is when it was built, so it's a founding club for the USGA, along with like the country club at Brookline, as well as other spots. So that's really cool to see, and good for him for making the cut. Again, I know probably disappointed in that, but.
Him and I were exchanging texts all week. I was texting him like, go get it done. He was sending me pictures from, his whole team that was out there with him at Newport. And some of the pictures he sent me were like, just like jaw dropping, like unbelievable. Like, this looks so cool. And then to see him go out there and play good golf, like it just was so satisfying to watch, because I think a lot of times these guys get into the events and they're like, all right, cool, we're in.
Mm-hmm.
But then to make the cut, to cash a check, to play with the guys. Like, listen, I was looking at some of the guys he's played with. I think in the third round he played with KJ Choi, another big-time name. He played with Kirk Triplett in the final round on Sunday. So, like, these are named guys that you and I have seen on the PGA Tour for years, and to see one of our own go out there and tee it up with them, it's just another cool experience. So
it's funny to see the names that are on that list, because I'll be honest, not that I didn't watch any of the Rocket. I watched a lot more of the Senior Open or the Champions Open because of Brian, quite frankly. But seeing the names on that list of guys that we grew up watching play golf that are now just strictly on, like Vijay Singh is still spending 9 hours on the range and playing, and he's 61 playing. Steve Stricker, Bernhard Longer. And it's going to escape me now, but if I were to scroll the leaderboard, like, that guy's old enough to be on the senior tour? Like, it was kind of crazy to see. So
you might see another name pretty soon.
Exactly. I don't think I would see that name. You think that name's going to show up there?
He only needs a couple more years.
That's an animal-free zone.
I don't know. Listen, he's give him a cart.
I didn't see anyone with carts out there. I know they can take the carts, but I don't see a lot of them with carts.
No, listen, he might.
Again, the cart he's winning everything.
Food for thought.
Yeah. So it's kind of an update professionally. And the last thing, Mike, I wanted to ask you was, you put up a great question on a reel that we had. And it's gotten a lot of traction. And I know it's gotten a lot of traction because I get all the notifications, but you're crazy enough to respond to all the comments. The question was, what 3 clubs are you taking if you had to play with 3 clubs? And we've seen all different responses. And not everyone gives a reasoning as to why, because it's a long comment then. You know, usually they just put 3W, comma, 5I, comma, PW. And that's pretty much the comment, right? But there's a lot of variations of clubs there. I wanted to ask you, what are your clubs?
So it's funny that you asked that, because I put this out there, just like a lot of things to get some engagement, get people talking. I've responded to every single comment that someone has posted. I don't care if it's been 3-wood, 5-iron, 8-iron. My comment back to them is with an emoji scratching my head like, no putter? And then let them answer the question as to why no putter. So, listen, it's been one of those ones that's kind of went, crazy, and the phone beeps and buzzes, and every time there's a response. I think my answer is simply, I'm taking my driver, I'm taking my 8-iron, and I'm taking my putter.
Okay.
I think I can get around in those 3 clubs.
Okay. Yeah, I think you definitely could as well. My thought process is that I would bring, like, for me, I think it would be like 3-wood, 7-iron, some kind of wedge, right? 52, something like that. And my thought process in not bringing the putter is that I would putt with a 3-wood. Because I feel like you're wasting a club by bringing your putter, because it's not versatile. There's one time you're using it. Now, you're using it on every hole, to be fair, but you could also putt with your driver. It's not going to be as accurate. You're not used to it. Why are you not doing that?
Because I'm playing fairways and greens.
Okay.
I need my putter. So I plan on going out there and striping the ball around the golf course.
Okay.
And high
expectations. But when 8-iron doesn't get there,
we choke up.
No, when it doesn't get there,
we
all of an 8-iron.
We bunt the driver.
Bunt the driver down.
Have you seen the video this week of when Big Cat was playing with Frankie and he hit driver on every single one of his shots? He says, why don't we just keep hitting this? If it's par 3, 100 yards, like, he's banging the driver. I'm going to take a little,
take something
off it, slice it around a little bit.
I did see one of a guy at the driving range say, it's called the driving range, not the iron range.
Yeah.
So if you come up short on a par 4, it's not work on your irons. Work on your driver, hitting it farther.
So listen, for me, I'm going with the mindset I'm hitting a fairway.
Okay.
I'm hitting the green.
Okay.
With the 8-iron, one way or another, and I'm putting it.
Which is a pretty good versatile club. I like that one.
I think when you think about how far can you hit an 8-iron, for me, I can maybe get lucky and hit it 170, and if I choke up all the way and miss it a lot, I can maybe hit it like 125.
Right.
So I got a large variation there, and then If I got to bump something, you got the 8-iron. People hit
Yeah.
that, and otherwise it's grip and rip.
Okay. So I would say that people that are in your echelon of golf and higher probably are thinking the same way. But I think that for someone like me, I'm going to be in some rough. I need to vary up my stuff, and I can't hit driver from the rough.
And to your point, that's what a lot of people have said. When I've asked them on Instagram
Yeah.
specifically, when they've said I'm hitting a wood, an iron, and a wedge,
Yeah.
and I said no putter, their comment is similar to that.
Yeah.
I can putt with this club or I can putt with that club and
Yeah.
be perfectly fine. So
Exactly.
listen, if you haven't commented on it and you want a response, go comment and I'll respond.
I know that there's been now hundreds of comments.
Yeah, I can't. I don't even know.
and
how
likes.
many.
It might be our biggest reel.
It's one of them.
If
It's definitely one of them.
it's-
It's one of those ones that just kind of like hits that algorithm and all of a
And
sudden-
keeps coming back because
Yeah.
this is now
So-
going back. Like, it was hot when it first came out, and then it just seems to be like the gift that keeps
Yeah, I
on
think we're on
giving.
like a 4-week trend here of where this thing just doesn't.
And-
It'll quiet down, and then somehow it finds its way back on the explore page, and
Right.
someone comments on it, and then all of a sudden it's back in this
Exactly.
crazy algorithm world.
So I just want I again figured we'd talk about it because we should get our official responses there and put it out on the table for everybody. Again, if you haven't, send a comment. Let Mike hear your thoughts.
No doubt.
All right, you got anything else, Mike?
No, listen, I'll just say this is kind of like a little wrap up. I can't thank the team here again at the Dome. I mean, you can kind of see the things behind me. This is an unbelievable spot. It has everything that you're looking for, from golfing to arcade to axe throwing to ninja stars to food to dining. And I think the one thing that I think you and I talk a lot about is the hospitality that we find and come across when we're at different spots.
sure,
And
yeah.
and this is just another spot that's welcomed us with open arms, been beyond kind, and just kind of has let us, record and kind of feel like we're home.
Yeah, absolutely. And our first on-site location to record the podcast.
Yep, hopefully one of many.
Yeah, really cool. So I'll also thank you again to the team here. It has been incredible. This is an amazing spot, and with only bigger things to come. So thank you. Stay tuned for our episode on Thursday, where we have Kevin Purcell come on, head of the NJSGA, 13-time club champion at Forest Hill Field Club, and preview the course for the New Jersey Am next week. So stay tuned for that on Thursday. Till then, cheers.